And it is with great excitement that I am inviting Connie Kobylko to give us her wonderful insights on collecting beautiful moments, a new lens on life. Now, Connie is a joy facilitator and a life celebrant who dances through life's transitions with warmth and wisdom. And through her program, Your Light Within, this published author and SuPEARLative award recipient helps others rediscover their inner light with compassion and insight. Connie empowers people to dance to life's ever-changing music. Connie, collecting beautiful moments, a new lens on life. Take it away for us.
Well, hello there, everyone, to all those beautiful souls that are out there. I'm so very thrilled to be with you here today at this incredible expo. So, whether you're joining us from a cafe in Paris, perhaps you're live in Australia in your own living room, or perhaps you're maybe sneaking away from a business meeting, don't worry, I won't tell your employer. I just want you to know how honored I am to just have our paths cross right at this very moment. I am live to you from Western Canada, and it truly is an honor and a privilege to be with you here today. So, before we dive in, what I want you to do is just take a deep breath with me. So, let's take a deep breath in and then exhale. That's it. And I just want you to feel your shoulders drop away from your ears. And let's just create that little pocket of calm together right here, right now. Because sometimes, we get caught up in so busy, that busy mode, that we forget to breathe. And so if you need a few extra breaths, by all means, do take them. Now, I don't know about your calendars, but I think that there's a calendar out there that we keep relying on that doesn't exist. And have you ever caught yourself saying, I'm going to do that someday? Well, maybe it's taking that trip to Bali or even just picking up the phone and connecting with an old friend, or maybe just finally learning how to make that sourdough bread that you keep saying you're going to do. Well, I have some surprise news for you. I've kind of scoured the earth as much as I could, and I have not yet ever found the calendar called Someday. It doesn't exist on mine. My calendars say Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and so on, but not the word someday. And yet, what we do is put so much of our joy on this mythical day that actually doesn't even exist. How crazy is that? In my role as a life celebrant, I've walked alongside many families and I've witnessed so many beautiful eulogies that speak of dreams that have been deferred or joys that have been postponed. And life truly is so incredibly precious. And yes, it really is fragile as well, too. And so why are we waiting for someday, a day that doesn't exist? Here's what I think we really need to do. We need to change things up a little bit. Instead of waiting for big events to happen or those big grandiose moments, what if we started to do something a little bit easier, and it's called becoming a collector of beautiful moments? So just think about it. Some of us collect different things. Some people collect vintage vinyl records, or now even CDs are going to be collectibles. Some people, like to gather house plants and hope that they don't kill them this time. And some people actually even collect those loyalty points at their local coffee shop. But what if we actually started to collect beautiful moments? Just moments. Give that some thought. And it could be something as easy as when the sun has come through the kitchen and it's shining on the floor and it's creating a pattern. Perhaps that beautiful moment or the collecting of moments could be that first sip of coffee when the world is really quiet. There's that unexpected text that comes from a friend and you can't help but laugh out loud or it puts a smile on your face. It could also be that song on the radio that either takes you back to your teenage years or you remember a special moment with someone special. That is collecting moments. And you know what? They're not just random occurrences. Those are treasures, treasures that are waiting to be noticed, to be collected, and as well to be cherished. And that's what I call them. I call them glimmers. They're little flashes of light in our everyday experience. So in my workshop, when we find joy, we talk about engaging all five senses. And here's what I want you to do. You can discover glimmers through your day just by using those five senses. So with your sight, what color was the shade of blue today, especially after a rain? For your sound, did you hear the wind rustling through the leaves? How about for touch? Did you feel the cool side of your pillow, perhaps? Or did you get to touch something soft, like a blanket? What about taste? Maybe you had something sweet or savory today that just made your taste buds dance. And then, of course, there's our smell. And perhaps you had the privilege of smelling some fresh baking as you entered perhaps a family member's home where you went to your favorite bakery. So I'm going to ask you, what was the last time that you collected a glimmer? Did you pay any attention to that? Or did you let life just go past without stopping to notice? So I want you just to take a moment right now and think about that. And perhaps there was something that stood out this morning. And it could be as easy as that morning cup of coffee. So we've talked about those beautiful things through life, but we also have moments in life where it's not all about beautiful moments and it's not always joyful. And I know that because I have that in life as well too. Life is not perfect. It has its highs, it has its lows, it has its joys, but it also has its sorrows. And sometimes life will hand us some challenges that, well, truth be told, actually would make it almost impossible to see any glimmers at all. And so you might be experiencing something like being an empty nester, for instance, watching your children leave and you're wondering, who am I going to be? Especially without being the role of a parent. Or perhaps you were a caregiver to one of your parents. And if they have sadly passed on, maybe you don't have that role. And what is your purpose? Maybe you yourself are navigating some health challenges, and that may have reduced some of your day to day life. I live with a brain injury, and my life is very different from what it used to be. And yet I'm so grateful because I love the life that I live, and I'm here today because of overcoming some of those challenges. Now, some of you might be on the threshold of retirement. Some of you might already be in the thick of it. It might be exciting, but it can also be terrifying. Or perhaps you're maybe feeling stuck in a pattern and you just don't know where to go. Because we do get at crossroads in our lives at times, and that's okay. So if you're nodding to any of these, I want you to know right now that something important is happening, and that's that the light inside of you still has not gone out. In fact, sometimes when the light is dimmed, sometimes it can be covered ever so slightly. It's actually there waiting to be uncovered again. And I really believe that we all have an inner lighthouse. There's that light inside of us that really just wants to spark. And that lighthouse, it really is our wisdom, it's our joy, it's our purpose, and it does remain steadfast. It is really steady all through the storms that happen around us. But sometimes we doubt that lighthouse inside of us. And as a joy facilitator, my role isn't just about teaching you how to be joyful. I actually guide you so that you are reconnecting to the joy that's already inside of you. I guide you to your dreams, to your visions. I want you to be the little child that got excited at Christmas, the one that wrote a Christmas list that was probably a mile long. You were unstoppable. Never once did you think, I don't deserve that. You wanted it all. You made sure you shared with your parents what you wanted. Here in Canada, we had this Sears Christmas Wish Book. It was a catalog that came out every year in October. And I couldn't wait to just carefully bend back the pages, fold over the corners of the page of all those great things that I wanted. And just to make sure that my mom and dad knew what I wanted, I circled the catalog numbers. I even made a list when I was big enough to be able to write. And I wrote down the page number and the item that I wanted. I also made sure Santa knew that as well, too. I wasn't going to leave any base untouched. Everybody knew my wish list. So why have we stopped dreaming as adults? When in essence, that little child inside of us is still waiting to have all those dreams and wishes fulfilled. So why don't we start tapping into that potential of yours? Let's reconnect with the joy that's just waiting for you. Now, many of the people that I work with, they sometimes don't even know what their dreams are. And that's because they've been shelved for so long. And instead of thinking of big long-term goals, what if we just started and had you thinking, what would you like the next 24 hours to look like? Or perhaps, what would you like just the rest of your day to look like? If you can make a shift, what would you do? And that's how we start tapping into your potential. Does that resonate with anybody here that's watching? I sure hope so. One thing that I've learned is that our feelings are connected to our imagination. And what a great thing that is. And that really is our future self, tapping ourselves on the shoulder and just saying, hello, I'm waiting for the invitation. Take me in. And it just takes one small step at a time. And that's the beautiful thing, is that you don't have to take a giant leap. Because too often we think that, oh, you might have to quit your job because you have to sell everything and move on to a bigger path. But guess what? Sometimes just making the little steps in life can create such dramatic changes that your whole world doesn't have to be rocked. And I want you to take this journey with me. So let's just take you on a little visualization. I want you to close your eyes for just a moment. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And on the next breath in, I want you to just envision, if I were to gift you anything in the world, what would you want that to be? And as you're thinking of that item, whether it's a place you want to be to, a person that you'd like to be with, or perhaps you'd just like to have some financial freedom, better health, I want you to feel what that feels like. What are you doing in this moment? Who is with you? How's your body feeling? And what is different about how you're carrying yourself? Now, just hang on to those feelings for just a moment, because it is that exact energy that is going to take you to that dream. So I want you just to think for a moment where you are right now. Ask your future self, what is one small step that I can take today that will bring me closer to where I am? And for some of you, you might have an answer right away. And it might come as a word, it might come as an image, it might be a feeling, or it just might be an inner knowing. I want you to take a deep breath in and exhale. And when you're ready, bring your awareness back to this moment, carrying that beautiful message and those feelings with you. Now, I'm pretty sure that as soon as I asked you to close your eyes and to dream of something, one thing probably popped in. And maybe for some, there was more than one, and that's okay. What I want you to know is that that future self, it's not a fantasy. It's not living in an unknown dream reality. It's not a movie. This really is you. And it is a possibility that really is just waiting to be realized by doing little mini milestones. So let me share with you a few different pathways that I share with my clients on helping them achieve their dreams. You can do a sensory scavenger hunt. And so, using those five senses, I want you to find some glimmers. But the one thing that I want you to do is not just look for them and acknowledge them. I want you to write them down. Write them in a journal so that before you go to bed at night, go back and just read that you were so grateful for that coffee, that brought you a smile to your face, that you actually connected perhaps with someone through a text or a phone call. Those little glimmers help you to go to sleep with a gratitude in your heart and a gratitude in your mind. And when you go to bed feeling a little bit later, you wake up that very next morning feeling so much better. Here's another one. Let's take you on an archaeology dig. What does that mean? Well, do you remember when you were a little kid and you maybe perhaps were a doodler, or maybe you like to dance? Maybe someone said to you, you know what? You're just shining a little too bright. You don't need to be the, center of attention. Maybe just tone it down a little bit. And often as kids, we're asked to reduce our abilities. And what a shame that is. It happens often. And then we grow up as adults and we think, no, I can't do that. And I'll give you an example. I had an art teacher who expected me at grade 5 to do acrylics. And what he wanted me to duplicate was a really cold scene that had water crashing along a cliff. And I remember the image vividly. But I'm a person who likes blue skies and sunshine. And for me to do an art drawing that was dark and gloomy and didn't have any of the color tones that resonated with me, I really struggled. And he actually said to me, "You'll never be an artist, just put your brush down." And I'll tell you in all honesty, I even had a hard time doodling with my little children when they were kids. I would color, but I would definitely not pick up the paintbrush. And it wasn't until about 20 years ago when a friend of mine encouraged me to take a watercolor class. And I was so hesitant because that voice inside my head, the one that was still connected with my heart, said, "You're not an artist, put the brush down." And yet that beautiful teacher taught me so many great things and I had so much fun. And you know what? I can be the artist of my choice, not just someone else's choice. So I want you to be impractical. If there was something you enjoyed doing as a kid or a dream that you never pursued, whether it was dancing, whether it was drawing, or perhaps pottery or whatever the case may be, I want you to dig up some of those things and start doing them. Now, gratitude is a word that we hear a lot of today. I'm sure it's, oh goodness, almost in every second sentence. And I actually have used it today. But gratitude really is an important part of my life because I think when we think positively, more positive things happen. Well, what if we gave gratitude an upgrade? What if we gave it a facelift instead? Rather than just listing the things that you're grateful for, what if you connected to why you are grateful and how it made you feel? Just writing a gratitude on your sheet is not enough. You need to connect to your emotions. So today, I am grateful that I got to spend time with my daughter. And why is that? Because we got to have the most incredible conversation and we laughed and laughed until we were crying. And you know what? It just reminded me how young and playful we still can be and that life is meant to be fun. So she's going on my gratitude list today. And I encourage you to journal 5 gratitudes every day before you go to sleep. Give them some thought. How did they make you feel? How did you make someone else feel? Because that in itself is a beautiful gift to give. And then the other thing that I want you to do is give yourself a permission slip so that you can connect to your heart's desires. And some of them can be as simple as I give myself permission to rest and not have to be productive 24/7. You can also give yourself permission to change your mind. What a concept, hey? I know. And I want to leave you with a legacy question. This is something that I ask my clients as well, too. How do you want to be remembered? And what is one small choice that you can make every day that aligns to that vision? And it doesn't have to be a lot. In my role as a life celebrant, it's not the material things that people are most remembered for, it's how they made people feel. And that's why we're missed so much when we're no longer here to take our last breath. It's how we've made people feel. I want you to move forward in life. And what's one thing that you can do every day that'll make a difference? Because that's what really does matter in the long run. So you had a little gentle joy journey with me today. So you had a little transformation as well too, because now I've given you some tips and some tricks. When we remove those layers of I should or I'm supposed to, life truly does change because then we're connecting with our authentic self. And that's where anything can be possible. We take the impossible and I change that to I'm possible. And so I encourage you to start collecting beautiful moments today. Don't wait for someday. It doesn't exist. Begin today. And if there's anything that I've shared that has resonated with you, if you felt that little tap on your shoulder, here's what I want you to do. I want you to know that you're really connecting with your authentic light and that anything is possible. You don't have to wait for someday. You can actually start collecting beautiful moments today. So I invite you on a personal journey of joy visioning. Over 4 transformative weeks, this is where I guide you so that those blocks, those old ways of thinking, that conditioning, we start connecting you to your inner wisdom. We start releasing any patterns that no longer serve as your joy. And trust me, I'm a work in progress. I need to give myself many permission slips because I often think that, oh, I can't sit down and rest. I have too much to do. I've rephrased some of my wording. Instead of having a to-do list, which sounds daunting, I actually have an I get to do list because there will be a time when a list won't matter anymore. But for the things that are on my agenda, I actually get to do them. I get to choose. I guide you with a practical roadmap so that we're making mini milestones to move you forward, not big steps. I'll take you on guided meditation so that you can keep connecting to that future self. I also have something called the Joy Method, and it is a daily toolkit of practices that you can keep collecting those beautiful moments. And here's one thing that I want you to know that really is true. The world needs your light, not the muted version of you. And I know that we're not showing up as wholly as we could. The world needs you, your whole brilliant self, who you were truly meant to be. And I would love to share that journey with you. So I'd like to leave you with some questions to carry you in the days ahead as we close our time together. I want to ask you these questions. What if the joy that you're looking for isn't ahead of you, but it's here within you, just waiting to be remembered? What beautiful moment can you collect today that might otherwise go unnoticed? Here's another question. What if your future self could see you right now What's one change that they would lovingly suggest to you? The other question is, what's one milestone, a little mini milestone that you can achieve this week that would move you forward to your joy? And my last question is, whose life could be illuminated if you had the courage to shine in your full light? And I know that there are people just waiting for you to shine. So I have a feeling, this is my gut instincts talking to me today. I think that our meeting today, it wasn't by chance. I have a funny feeling that perhaps your future self guided you here today, knowing that right here, right now, is the perfect time for you to start collecting those beautiful moments and seeing life through a brand new lens. So I'd like to thank you for sharing this moment with me. I'm so excited to share this journey together with you. Wherever you may be, you know that you can always reach out to me and share your glimmers. And if you want to be accountable, you can always just send me an email or a text or connect here in my booth and share with me some of your glimmers. I would love to celebrate them with you because life is all about having those little mini successes, not the big ones, and it's celebrating them along the way. So I want you to remember, someday is not on the calendar, not on mine. I know it's not on yours, but each day ends with a day. So let's begin with today and let every day ahead be the start of a brand new change. So I invite you to my virtual booth. Connect with me directly after this session. I can't wait to hear all about those beautiful moments that you're collecting today. Thank you.
Absolutely wonderful, Connie Kobylko. Thank you so much, Joy Facilitator and Life Celebrant. What I have really strongly in my mind right now is collecting beautiful moments today and giving beautiful moments. So it's not just collecting and keeping, but giving is a strong sense that has come through to me as well. Thank you very much. That was so uplifting. Thanks, Connie.
You're welcome.